Hey everybody, Kennis Russell here. Hope you're doing well. This is my Kennis Russell vlog number 2. I'm actually filming this right after I did number 1 because as I was talking, I started to think about some other thoughts. And so this video is why older musicians stink, okay? And so this is why the older you get, you actually are the worst musician. So if you want to become worse, just keep on playing. What do I mean by that? I was thinking back on when I was a teenager. Now, I got my first guitar when I was 9 years old. Somebody gave it to me, took lessons for a little bit, put it down, picked it back up when I was maybe 13 or 14 years old, started playing. The best musician that I ever was in my mind was when I was about 18 years old, 16 to 18. That's when I was an amazing musician. And then I realized that I was a horrible musician. The more I learned, the more I realized that I knew nothing about music. I knew nothing about the guitar. There were people out there that just knew so much more than me and could play so much better than me. So this is the interesting thing about as you become a better musician. The better that you get, the more you know, the more you realize of the things you don't know. And the better you are, the more you realize the things that you're not good at. And this hit me smack dab in the face when I was 18 years old and I went to college. I went to music school at a university, Oral Roberts University, and there was a guitar teacher, I guess guitar professor or whatever, I was getting private lessons from. His name is Jim Bates. And Jim Bates was I need to look him up. I'm not even sure if he's around anymore. But in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he was the bass player. Played with the orchestra, the symphony orchestra, played all kinds of different bands, different groups. And it was just awesome. So he's a bass player that knows how to play guitar, and he's teaching me how to play guitar, okay? And he's still a better guitar player than I probably will ever be. That wasn't even his primary instrument. Anyway, I was so arrogant and thought that I was so good that when I went to my first lesson, you know, I was walking in there with my guitar and I literally thought, this is what the thought that went through my mind. It's embarrassing even saying it out loud, but I thought that he would think, finally, somebody I could work with, okay? This is like, that's the level of arrogance that I was at. I thought I was just amazing. I thought I was like just a step maybe down from Eric Clapton or something. I thought I was just awesome. So I went in there and I'm thinking he's going to be blown away and he's going to be like, oh man, I'm going to mentor this kid. I'm going to teach him how to play and he's going to be one of the best musicians that I've ever taught. You know, he's going to surpass me. This is where my mindset was at. So I go in there with my guitar and I'm talking awesome about myself. Yeah, I've been playing guitar for 9 years and you know, I play in my church and I played in this band and you know, this is the style of music that I'm good at. And so he goes, all right, very good, whatever. You could tell, in retrospect, I could tell he wasn't even really listening to everything I was saying. He pulls out a piece of sheet music, basic sheet music, and turns it to a song. I think it was "Let It Be" by the Beatles, like the most rudimentary note reading you can possibly do. And he goes, all right, play this real quick and we'll just kind of see where you're at and then we'll go on from there. And I barely knew how to read music for the guitar. Music theory wise, I knew real well, but for guitar, I didn't know very well at all. So I am like trying my best to play this song, and it is just not going well. I get about maybe 10 measures through it, and he just stops me and he goes, okay, we can stop there. I can see that we're going to have to start at the very beginning with you. He says that to me. And it just like, talk about taking the wind out of my sails. It just hit me smack dab in the face. And I went home and I realized I am not a good musician. I don't know how to play. I thought I was amazing. Actually, it took me a while to kind of realize this. At first I thought, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But, you know, it really came across to me that like, oh, you know what? The more I know, the more I learn, the less I really know. And that next 4 years was the most I'd ever grown probably as a musician. I started playing jazz, started learning how to solo, started learning how to be a musician, learn music, truly learn music. And what's interesting is every time I would feel like I would get something down and I'd be excited about it, it was just there was something else around the corner that I realized I was not good at. And by the time I got done with that process of going through university, I realized that will never stop. I will always be not good. I will always be able to get better. I will always be able to practice a little bit more. And so that is why the older you get as a musician, the worse you are. If you're if you're a young dude and you're just like, oh man, I'm awesome, man, enjoy being young and ignorant, because the better you get, the more you're going to realize you actually don't know how to play the guitar. No matter how good you are, there's somebody else out there that is way, way, way better than you. You could be like the best guitar shredder on the planet. You're like, oh man, everybody I know I'm better than. Dude, there is somebody in South America that's playing flamenco guitar that can school you and make you look like a child. Because they can make me look like a child, and there's just so many other musicians, even different styles, that one of the things that gets me all the time is like chicken pickers, like country chicken pickers. Those guys are awesome. I don't even listen to country music. So there's like a whole genre of music that I haven't ever even practiced. And there's a group of guys that are just killer, that are way better than I will ever be, because they've been playing that style for the last 30 or 40 years. And I don't have 30 or 40 years to devote to chicken picking. So it's just an interesting thought that the more you know, the older you are, the more you play. In reality, in your mind, it should be, I think, at least, the lesser you are. Like, the more you think you're good, you're probably not as good as you think you are. So just some lessons that I've learned. What do you think about it? Do you disagree with that? Is that a fair assessment? Has that been your experience? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. But would you please comment? I want to kind of make these vlogs a conversation and kind of go back and forth. And I'd love to make this kind of a place where people talk about musicianship, talk about music stuff, and we just enjoy this community of musicians together. So thankful for YouTube, and the ability to kind of have this voice. And I'm just loving kind of getting these thoughts out for other people. Maybe it's a thought that you've had, or maybe it's a thought you've never had. Anyway, Kennis Russell out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. That meant the world to me. Like, that was awesome that he said that. And I mean, it just lifted my spirits.